Hey everybody, it's Dr. Eric Nepute. I am so happy to be with you again. We get to talk a little bit about the Gut Health Triad. So I'm going to explain a whole bunch of stuff to you. So please grab a pen and a piece of paper, write this stuff down, go back and listen to this video again and again and again. Consistency is the key to the breakthrough. The more you hear this information, the more you can apply it to your life. And it's just like Albert Einstein said, if you cannot explain something simply enough, that means you don't understand it well. So let's get into the Gut Health Triad. So a couple things that I want to make mention. Number one, God doesn't make junk. You got to understand, the power that made the body can heal the body. One of the principles of healing that we talk about in wellness care is the body doesn't need any help. It just needs the removal of the interference, and it needs the right nutrients in it. So we've got to remove the toxins, clear the clutter, get the debris and garbage out of our cellular health, and give the body the nutrients it needs. Give it the stuff that God put on this earth for us to be healthy. The body goes through a 3-step process whenever it heals itself. Step 1 is all about resetting the body. We got to reset, detox, or clear the clutter, okay? Number 2, we have to repair the damage that's been done to our cells. It's been said that our overall health is in direct proportion to the health of our cells in our body. So we have to reset, we have to repair, then we have to rebuild our health. And health really is a balance of really 3 things. It's a balance of our physical well-being. We have to be in good alignment. We have to move our body. We have to have good strength in our joints and our muscles. We have to have good chemical balance, which is the mainstay that we're going to talk about today with the supplements and nutrients. A balanced diet, so important, but it's also important to have a balance of your emotional and spiritual well-being. You know, health is a balance of all those things, and it's all about being at ease. Ease is the Greek word for balance. When you get out of ease, you slip into dis-ease, and then you slip into disease. So the key is to go from dis-ease to ease. That's really the key, okay? So when we look at what we talk about from a health standpoint, and I shared this with some health practitioners the other day, there's a core four things that if we really focused on these core 4 things, we really could shift the way that healthcare is delivered and healthcare is really looked at in the world. And we could really put health and care back into healthcare. If we really focused on these 4 things, we could really make a huge difference. Number 1 is leaky gut. You all know from our prior videos that leaky gut, some 90% of people that eat a standard American diet or a westernized diet, the SAD diet, are going to have leaky gut. Leaky gut leads to a whole myriad of symptomatology. And if you remember what we talked about with the hierarchy of health, the 3rd step of the ladder is gut health. And if the gut's not balanced, you can't have a healthy endocrine system. You can't have a healthy cardiovascular system, immune system, so on and so forth. So we got to fix leaky gut. The Gut Health Triad helps with that. Number 2, if we can balance insulin and blood sugars, that is a game changer. It's estimated that over 440,000 people are diagnosed and suffer worldwide from diabetes and blood sugar issues every year. This also leads to hormone imbalances, obesity, the list goes on and on. We can help with that by getting balance to what health is physically, chemically, neuro, emotionally, and spiritually. Number 3, if we can help with what we call metabolic stress, which is also referred to as oxidative stress. Every time we eat food or drink something or breathe in chemicals or are stressed out, our body has an oxidative response to that. We produce something called free radicals, which damage our tissue and damage our cells, which causes us to be sick. And then the 4th thing is inflammation. You guys know that inflammation is a big issue. The opioid crisis is a big deal. Inflammation leads to sickness, disease, pain, arthritis. It's a very big problem. We have a solution for that. If we focus on these core 4 changes, if we can really focus on that, we can make a huge change in the overall health and well-being of our communities. So how do we do that? Number 1, we have got to have a balance, and this balance is a triad with our gut health and healing for the rest of our cells. Listen, in our gut, some 80 to 90% of our lymphatic immune system and the gut-associated lymphatic tissue is there. the majority of our neurotransmitters that help us feel good, function well, have energy, have a brain that's balanced, and happiness all comes from the gut. If we can't absorb our nutrients, we're going to get inflamed and we're going to get sick. The key to healthy cells is a healthy GI tract. So in our Gut Health Triad, we have 3 huge products that are keystone cornerstones for you to have good gut health. Number 1 is our Happy Tides. Right here, Happy Tides help reset the body, so they help with detox. They help repair damaged tissue, and they help rebuild overall health. How do they do that? Remember, the Happy Tides product has high-dose fiber. It has high-dose fiber from acai gum fiber. That's a prebiotic. That is the food that feeds probiotics. There are more bacteria in our body than there are cells in our body. So the quality of our cellular health is in direct proportion to the quality of our bacterial health in our system. We have something called a microbiome, which if we don't do the right things, and Happy Tides help us balance that out, we become more toxic and then we become sick. Number 2, the Happy Tides have the basic building block of DNA and RNA. That's cellular repair. Listen, our body's always in a state of breaking down and building back up, breaking down and building back up. It must have nucleotides to do that. The older we get, the less we have the ability to produce our own nucleotides. Why would you not take exogenous or supplement nucleotides? And that's the Happy Tides product. And it also helps with cellular ATP, which is energy and metabolism, the body's ability to do work, burn fat as fuel, keep us alive and thriving. So the Happy Tides I put at the bottom of the triad. Number 2 is the BioMyX with ADK. Listen to me, BioMyX with ADK. This is the only formula that's like this on the planet. Same with the Happy Tides, only formula that's out there. No one else has access to this. The BioMyX with ADK also helps reset, so it's a detox principle. It helps repair, especially the lining of our intestinal tract. This helps balance the brain-gut connection. Remember, our intestinal lining is only 1 layer of cells thick. It's so tiny. And with all the stress of life, the standard American diet, the medications we've taken, and all the antibiotics that are in our food, it literally causes that cellular membrane to open up, and it doesn't allow our body to absorb our nutrients, and it causes us to be more toxic, which leads to all kinds of problems, inflammation, depression, anxiety, insomnia, the list goes on and on. BioMyX with ADK is short-chain fatty acids. The short-chain fatty acids are the key to cellular repair in the GI tract. We must have short-chain fatty acids, and since 95% of Americans are deficient in fiber, they're no way going to be able to make those short-chain fatty acids. That's why the nucleotides mixed with the BioMyX with ADK, game changer. It also has tributyrin. Tributyrin is the delivery system to get butyrate or butyric acid into the GI tract so that it can be absorbed. It's one thing to take nutrients. It's another thing to absorb it. You're going to hear me talk all the time about bioavailability. The key with nutritional success is not just taking products, it's being able to utilize them, absorb them, to supplement your sick lifestyle, okay? Last thing it does, I talked about this already, leaky gut, colon repair. This is the key. The BioMyX with vitamin A, D, and K, and you all know how difficult it is to absorb vitamin A, vitamin D, and K, and some 50% of all people on the planet, especially in America, are deficient in D, and we need that from a pro-hormone standpoint. So boom, you get that right there with the BioMyX with ADK. And then the Happy Humol. You guys know how much I love xanthol humol. It is what I call the miracle molecule. It just does so many things in the body. It's not even funny. So xanthol humol helps detox. Let me say this again. Detox, detox, detox. Because of what it does for repair of the liver, you've got to have this to push all the clutter out of the system. The average person comes in contact between 500 and 800 different toxins every day of their life, and that builds up cellularly inside our body, so we're toxic and our cells aren't working. So this Happy Humol helps protect the liver and detoxify. Phase 1 and Phase 2 liver detox. Inside the Happy Humol, it also has C3, which is a form of curcumin, which allows the body to, by the way, it's 250 times more potent than the curcumin or turmeric that most people buy off the shelves. This is a very strong antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. It deflames the cells and it stops that free radical damage that again is causing all this damage to the cells. We get that so we can repair and rebuild our cellular function. We also have PQQ. PQQ is a very unique formula. It's one of the most powerful antioxidants known to man. With the Happy Humol liver detox, the PQQ is important for increased energy and mitochondrial function. The mitochondria is the powerhouse for the cell. This helps make mitochondria make more cells, and it helps them improve their function, which helps with circulation and brain activity. PQQ is a game changer. It's like putting horsepower back into your cellular function. Carbon 60 is also in the Happy Humol, one of my favorite products of all time. I've been using it for almost 20 years to help mineralize the body, to help detox the system. Carbon 60 is the stardust molecule. We must have high levels of carbon. We are carbon-based organisms, and the sicker we are, the harder it is for carbon to get in us, and we need that to repair. And then we have a product in here called BioPurine. BioPurine is a formula that we use, also known as pepperine, which most people know as black pepper extract. What that does is it opens up the cells, and it's like a gateway to push the nutrients in. This helps increase bioavailability of all the products. So it's not just about getting it in you, it's about getting it into the cells, because our health is in direct proportion to the health of our cells. So this is your triad right here. Your Happy Humol, your BioMyX, and your Happy Tides needs to be taken every day. I'll talk about dosing in just a second. But every one of us needs to have some of these add-ons in our life. Like I take the triad every day. My family, triad every day. I recommend for all my patients this triad every day. But we also recommend add-ons. So here are the add-ons. Number one, I do the amped coffee every morning because I want nootropic, which is nutritionally infused, brain-based, circulation improving, brain function improving nutrition. I take that every morning. I fast in the morning. This does not break my fast. I use the coffee. It is a game changer for energy, circulation, fat burn, you name it. This helps me improve my overall energy. This helps me improve my brain function. Now, some days if I don't do the coffee, I'll take a Happy Cap. I will take 1 cap per morning. That also improves energy, circulation, ATP function, and it has adrenal stimulants in it, which are called adaptogenic herbs to help our stress organs in our body called the adrenal glands. Now, at nighttime, I recommend the Shut-Eye. The Shut-Eye is it's the slumber complex. It is a formulation of nutrients that helps our body rest, relax, and go chill out so we can sleep. If you're not sleeping properly, your body's not healing. You need to get a good 4 to 6 to 8 hours of sleep every night, depending upon your specific need, but we need good quality, deep sleep, and the Shut-Eye will help with that. Also, if you're into the endocannabinoid system, which is a system that our body has, every cell in our body has receptors for the endocannabinoids, which are our hemp oil, okay, our hemp products. All of our hemp products are water soluble, so they're easy to absorb, which is a big deal. I recommend hemp for every one of our patients as well. We've got the water soluble, full spectrum Hemp Life. We got the energy, the natural product. It's all about stimulating the endocannabinoid system, which helps our body rest, relax, grow, develop, digest, hormone function, and heal. But the big thing is you've got to be on the triad. The triad is the key, and then having your add-ons, the coffee, the Happy Caps, the Shut-Eye, the endocannabinoid system stimulators with the hemps are game changers. You literally have everything here that your body needs to improve health and wellness. You incorporate that with good sleep, exercise, and a good quality, balanced, healthy diet with some intermittent fasting and healthy fluids. You're on your way to health. We got to also talk about the emotional, spiritual aspect of it, which you know this organization is huge on, but it's all about balance, okay? Now let's talk about dosing. Everybody's body's different. We typically have 4 categories that we talk about with our organization. Number 1 is phase 1. Phase 1 dosing is maintenance dosing. That's when you're healthy, balanced, everything's good. You do 1 scoop of the Happy Tides once a day, 1 BioMyX once a day, and 1 dose of the Happy Humol. That's phase 1. Most people are going to be in phase 2 or phase 3. Phase 2 is mild stress. Those are people that have mild stress in their life. They have, mildly good diet. They pretty much eat like, 90% of the time they're eating good quality. 10% of the time they're eating junk food. They might have occasional aches and pains, but they're not on any medications. They have no major problems going on. That's someone that would do 1 scoop twice a day, 1 Biomax twice a day, and 1 Happy Humol twice a day. Phase 3 is moderate stress. A lot of people fall in this category. These are when people have moderate issues, maybe a little high blood pressure, a little high cholesterol, a little IBS, a little Crohn's, a little bowel issues, day-to-day moderate levels of stress. Most people fall in this category. They're going to do 1 scoop 3 times a day, 1 pill 3 times a day, 1 Happy Humol 3 times a day as well. That's a good dose for phase 3. And then phase 4 is your major stressor. These are people that have major stress in their life. These are people that have problems every day. They're on multiple medications. They've got lots of disease processes. These are late end-stage diseases, heavy diabetes, heavy, cancers and serious problems like that. These folks are going to do 1 scoop 4 times a day, 1 Biomax 4 times a day, and 1 Happy Humol 4 times a day, or a combination to get 4 doses in their body throughout the day. And then we have some folks that are a lot more. Okay, that's on a case-by-case basis. The timeline is very important to understand. Typically what I tell people to do is you got to stay consistent with your dosing for 90 days. 90 days we can step back and see how the body responds. It takes 90 days to break up a pattern of physiology in the body. 90 days before you're going to see any changes. It takes about 6 to 12 months of consistently doing the right thing to see some huge permanent shifts in your body's physiology and functionality. That's 6 to 12 months. Now, it takes 12 to 18 months before our organs start changing. You guys know our organs literally start changing. We get a new liver, we get new cells in our body. They turn over all the time. That takes about 12 to 18 months to do that. And then if you look at the work on epigenetics, which is our genes that can turn on and turn off, it takes about 3 years of consistently doing something before your DNA and genes can change from an epigenetic standpoint. And people say, 3 years? Well, most of you, it took you 20, 40, 30, however many years to get a certain way. So consistently doing the right thing for long enough time makes a huge difference. Consistently doing the wrong thing makes a bad difference, right? Listen, I'm not telling you that you have to be perfect every day. We're all human. We all sin. We all have problems. But if we're consistently working on being healthy, and health is a huge priority for you, use the triad every day. Use your add-ons like you should. I do the triad every day. I do the coffee every morning. If I don't do the coffee, I'm going to do the happy caps. I do the hemp occasionally throughout the week, but I always do the shut-eye so I can get a good balanced sleep. That, in addition to the Gut Right food plan, intermittent fasting, I drink about 100 ounces of healthy fluids every day. I pray and meditate. I do all these things to help our body stay healthy. If you put in the work, you'll get the reward. So I just wanted to share with you how powerful the opportunity that you have. These are nutritional products that no one else has access to on the planet that you have access to. You have the ability to change your life and to change the lives of your loved ones. My question to you, will you take advantage of that opportunity within the lifetime of that opportunity? I love and appreciate you more than you know. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to listen to me. Until we meet again, I'm Dr. Eric Nepute. God bless you, God bless America, and God bless the world. Let's get happy and let's get amplified. See y'all soon.